and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. There's a breaking development. Let's shift our focus to that. There has been yet another video from the Pahalgam terror attack that has now surfaced. Those visuals are on your screens of this fresh video that has now been made available. It shows a huddle of people who are hiding behind the bleacher seats, and there are gunshots that can also be heard in the backdrop. Listen in. That unfortunate incident that took place on 22nd that led to the death of 26 people. Their families have been impacted irrevocably, and the country is in mourning, has sent shockwaves across the globe. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly has also passed a unanimous resolution strongly condemning the terror attack at Baisaran Meadow in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam, in which there were 26 people who lost their lives. The resolution was moved by the Deputy Chief Minister Surinder Choudhary at the beginning of the special session. The resolution described the attack as a heinous, barbaric, inhumane and cowardly act and was unanimously adopted by the House after a 3-hour-long discussion on it. It also endorsed the diplomatic measures announced by the Union government after the attack, including the suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty and the cancellation of visas to Pakistani nationals. Concluding a discussion on the resolution, the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, who also holds the portfolio of Tourism Ministry, condemned the Pahalgam terror attack. He admitted that he had failed in his responsibility of ensuring safe return for the tourists. He further said that he will not use this moment to demand statehood for Jammu and Kashmir. Even though Chief Minister Omar Abdullah said that he will continue to demand statehood in the future, he emphasized that it will be shameful if he seeks it now. Joining me on the telecast are my panelists, and I'm going to start my conversation with Sumit Peer. Sumit, of course, there is a resolution that has been passed in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. The statement that comes from the Chief Minister was something that was expected, that should have been said, and he said it without any qualms. He said, this is not a time to rake differences between the central government and the Jammu and Kashmir administration. This is not the time to talk about statehood. This is not the time when terror is at its peak for Jammu and Kashmir administration, the government, to fight it out with the central agencies. A situation where the entire country, all its political leaders across all spectrums have come together unitedly, stood as one to fight it out against Pakistan and its maleficous attempt to spread terror in Kashmir yet again. Do you think this is a template that the country needs to follow every single time, whether it is at the time of prosperity and peace or a time such as this?
Megha ji, thank you for having me on your show. It's a very sad and unfortunate phase of time which we are all passing through. I mean, the loss is beyond our comprehension. We don't know how to describe the loss. But I mean, there was one piece of good news which we saw today, that there were some things which were done unanimously. There was no ambiguity, there was no discussion, there was no deliberations on that. That is a good part of it. We know it's a terror attack. We know Pakistan did it. We know Pakistan is responsible for that. And whatever in Government of India is planning vis-a-vis Indus Water Treaty, that has been completely supported and endorsed by the local assembly. And all the diplomatic efforts which are happening, they have been completely supported and endorsed by the assembly. That means that we are one. We are going in the right path. We are going in the right direction. Look, the epicenter of terror is Pakistan, which has to be dismantled, and this time we have to give a decisive blow to Pakistan so that they can never ever be able to do this again. And there are some things which are done at the local level. I mean, some terrace houses are being taken out and all, but that is the local part of it. It's a 90-10 kind of a ratio, what is happening there. But this admission is good, and I was happy to see Umar Abdullah saying, look, I could not fulfill my duties, and that is what we expected him to do, because you have to stood up to the occasion. If there's a mistake, if there's a mess up, whatever happened, you have to stood up and own it. Look, I could not do what it is. So now at least the people of the state and people of the country know at least there is something wherein I say, look guys, I did a mistake. I could not do my duty. ठीक है, गलती हो गई है. I mean, there was a mistake or whatever that has happened. The message has to go united to Pakistan. The message has to go to the perpetrators of terror. The message has to go to people, Republic of China, wherein we believe, we don't know, PL-15 missiles are being given to Pakistan. Message has to go to Turkey, who's shipping ammunition to Islamabad as we talk. So these people need to be sent a very message that the India is united, and all the nefarious designs of Asim Munir, which he tried to do, that Hindu-Muslim divide and juggler win and all that, has to be put to arrest. I think as far as that is concerned, today we have been able to put that to arrest. We have not given out anything which could be used against us, where the Pakistani establishment will lash on us. And just one last sentence, Meghaji. Today, the government of India has banned a lot of Pakistani YouTubers and channels. I would like to compliment government of India and Modi ji for that. That's a very welcome step.
I also have with me Dr. Pooja Tripathi. She's the spokesperson of the Congress. Pooja, where a situation arises that the entire country stands united for the welfare, for the safety and security of our countrymen, how do you view such stray statements that come from a Rakesh Tikait, who calls himself as a farmer leader, or his brother Naresh Tikait? There was a statement that was just a few hours ago made by a senior Congress leader, Saifuddin Soz, or just a few days ago Siddaramaiah coming out and speaking and saying that he is not in favor of the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty. What message would the Congress like to give to all these elements, all these personalities and politicians? And I don't understand what motivated agenda do they have to make such statements, to be compelled to make such statements.
The message of this terror attack was it was an attack on the soul of India. But bigger than the soul of India, it was an attack on the Jamhuriyat, Insaniyat and Kashmiriyat of the land of Jammu and Kashmir. And I'm very happy that NewsX, I'll go to your question later, I'm very happy that NewsX is actually debating on the resolution passed by J&K Assembly, because terrorists tried their level best to make it Hindu-Muslim issue, to make it something. But what the stories that came out, the heroism of Sayyid Adil Hussain Shah, who fought against terrorists to save his own, the tourist he was carrying, or the story of that Liaquat Chacha who saved 11 tourists, or the stories that the tourists are bringing back, that Kashmiris offer them free food, free water, free accommodation, travel and everything. I think that shows how India as a nation stands against this attack on its very ethos that we uphold. And that's where, when the whole all-party meeting was held, every political party has been very steadfast, be it Congress or be it any regional party, or I'll say, they have been very steadfast in their opinion that we stand with the government of India and whatever actions we take, but we want retaliation, because this is not done. You just come into our territory and attack 26 unarmed, 26 innocent civilians. This is not done, and this should be retaliated. And I'm sure government and every political party. If you talk about statements, Siddaramaiah ji talked about efficacy of war. I have not read the Naresh Tikait's statement. I'm really sorry, I could not respond for that. But I'm sure these statements are aberrations, and there have been insensitivity on both ends. As soon as 2:30 p.m. Pahalgam arrest was happened, BJP Chhattisgarh put out a very insensitive Ghibli cartoon of that Lieutenant Vinay Narwal and his wife, and that was very insensitive on Bharatiya Janata Party part. Bharatiya Janata Party Karnataka put out questions to why whenever Rahul Gandhi visits foreign country and there is a terror attack. So when we talk about aberrations, and this has been brought to the notice of Rajnath ji, this has been brought to notice of Home Minister Amit Shah ji, that you cannot look divided when it comes to something as heinous as terror attack. And I'm very happy and very, very, very glad, very, very proud of our country, that we stand united when it comes to facing that, when it comes to facing the terror attacks and each of their nefarious attempt, asking if you're Hindu or Muslim, and then gunning down the
Okay.
innocent civilians. This has been just, boiled down. This has been just diluted, because as a country we stand against this activity of Pakistan, and as a country we say that
Okay.
no to terrorism.
Okay.
And we are with government of India.
Okay,
Every political party.
let me get in Dr. Nirmal Singh. He's the former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and a BJP leader. Dr. Nirmal Singh, going forward, the government of India has complete support of the political class across all spectrums, all political parties. Does this strengthen the government's resolve in being able to be more successful in fighting terror that has been infiltrated into its land in Kashmir by Pakistan? And do you think this is a moment where India will have to make a decision and stick to it on whether there is going to be an all-out war, or how is it that Pakistan is going to be taught a lesson?
Definitely. The way the whole of nation has responded, the way the people of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, the way they helped the victims there, it shows that the whole of India is one on this issue. Because, I'm reminded of the days of Indo-Pak War of 1971, when Mrs. Gandhi was the Honorable Prime Minister, and we had a war with Pakistan, and Atalji at that time had declared that as of today, Indraji is our leader. In the same way, we have shown this time also, and in today's assembly, I observed the proceedings of the J&K Assembly. I was surprised that people belonging to all political parties, having different opinions, they were united together. And when some of them, they declared that we must take Pakistan to task. Even people from Kashmir, they were saying this. And they were saying that this is an attack over insaniyat. So that was unprecedented. And this has definitely strengthened the hands of the central government. Our Honorable Prime Minister was already on the job. The way he came back from Jeddah, the way our Home Minister, he reached Pahalgam along with the Chief Minister and the LG, it shows that there can't be any compromise on such heinous crimes. And Pakistan has to be taught lesson, because the diplomatic move which is made by the Indian government and the whole of the nation is supporting that. You'll see that in the near future, our security forces, they are on the alert. Our army, our navy, other people, they are on the alert. And we must leave it to the central leadership, to the experts, to the Prime Minister and his team to take decisions, and we are confident. And right decision shall be taken at the right time, and Pakistan shall be taught lesson this time.
Okay. I also have with me Abid Wani, spokesperson of JKNC. Abid Wani, what's the sentiment on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir? We saw there have been campaigns that are being run inviting tourists back to Jammu and Kashmir. The locals are bearing the brunt of the tourism industry that has been hit hard because of this terror attack. What are the people thinking? How are they feeling?
Well, Meghna, the sentiments of the people of J&K were reflected in the assembly today. The unanimous resolution in the all-party meeting and now in the assembly is a ratification of the fact that we are in a moment, in a phase of national grief, and the condemnation has been unanimous, and the action should be collective. That's what the message from the J&K is. In this hour of need, when the government of India needs every regional player, every union player to back them, we are there with the government of India. We didn't align our interests with the governance today. That's what Mr. Omar Abdullah, with a grand moral standing today, acknowledged the fact that it's not the time to ask for statehood. we don't practice that cheap politics. We aligned our interests with the nation, and that's the right thing to do. But on the ground, we have been hit economically, politically, and socially. We have had instance, where Muslims were outcasted in various parts of the country. That shouldn't have happened, but that's an obvious reaction, from people who are hell-bent to create a divide when we are dealing with an external aggressor. But right now, we are in a best-case scenario, and I think we should follow it right to the conclusion.
Pooja, coming back to you, do you think it is time is right and political leaders should act responsibly? If a Rakesh Tikait and a Naresh Tikait come out and say that they are against the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, shouldn't political parties and their leaders come out and condemn such careless, motivated statements such as these? Pooja, can you hear me?
As I said, this isn't kind of, and when we talk about accountability, when we talk about Kashmiriyat, when we talk about the resolution, I still remember that elderly man crying, and he said, "These tears are not for the loss of livelihood, but this is tears are."
Okay, so I would request Pooja, we have poor network connectivity. I would request you to stay stationary so that we are able to hear you and see you. But Sumit, coming to you, the same question. Shouldn't political parties be united in castigating leaders like Rakesh Tikait and Naresh Tikait who come out criticizing the government over the Indus Water Treaty? They seem to be somehow more sympathetic to the cause of the farmers in Pakistan than they are to the farmers in India.
I think, Megha, you got it absolutely right.
And obviously,
You nailed it. The problem with Rakesh Tikait and Naresh, like sir, एक हिंदी में कहावत होती ना, monsoon frogs. The monsoon frogs, they erupt whenever there's a thing. They will give a contrary statement. They will try to get a TRP. They will try to get TV channels, cover them, and they want to be in the limelight somehow. He's not a Kisan Neta is nobody. He is nobody. He cannot fight an election. He cannot win an election. He is a person who is an unfortunate outcome of a consequence which happened. Now, whenever there's anything which is, oxymoronic in nature, he will give a statement. TV will cover him. He will want to be in the leader. What does he know about Indus Water Treaty? When did he last go to Kashmir? Did he lose a near and dear one? And yes, it is the duty of the political leaders and all the people who have said to condemn such people, condemn openly and tell them this is none of your business. It is not a maximum. Your domain of influence is a Kishan issue, that to a Western UP Kisan issue. Beyond that, please do not interfere in the issues of national integrity and national pride. This is none of your business. What is your loci on Indus Water Treaty? Who are you to oppose that Indus Water Treaty? Do you have a political party? How many states do you control? I mean, if a Mr. Siddaramaiah has a point or a Rahul Gandhi has a point, I still understand that. But who gave this Naresh Tikait and his brother Rakesh Tikait the liberty to comment on this? Because this is simply a trick to get into the TRP, to somehow get covered. I think people like them, if they don't behave, I think the government of India and Prime Minister Modi should have the rightful means within the law to put them behind bars for some time. थोड़ा ना दिमाग ठंडा हो जाता है. Then once they are in a better state of mind, then let them come out.
Okay.
Because this.
Okay, fair enough. Abidwani, coming to you, when talking about this statement that was made by the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister earlier today while in the assembly, and he said that he holds himself responsible, that he was not able to safeguard the lives of the tourists when the attack happened. He's also said that how can I, in such a sensitive moment, ask the central government for statehood to be restored in Jammu and Kashmir. You feel the situation, as much as we would like it to be calm and composed and safe for people, the locals as well as outsiders coming into Jammu and Kashmir, there is still some way to go till peace and harmony is restored.
Well, I think, you need to give it to the Honorable Chief Minister. He stood there with a very moral grandstanding, making such statement, despite the fact that the security and the policing is the domain of the center. We are in a collective grief, so the responsibility should be collective. And it was very mature of him, to act in such moment, at such a sensitive juncture, with the way nation wants him to act. So, in that capacity, I can say, the hospitality of Kashmiris is very much in the words of the Chief Minister. We are here for you, and I think, through your network, I would request the tourists not let the terrorists win. If you stop coming to Kashmir, then the message is loud and clear that Kashmir is no more safe for you. But if you somehow, believe and trust in the government, in the people of J&K, who are very affectionate, who are very warm, and who have always had a history of hospitality. So I think, we need to have this conscience growing in the nation that people should return, Amarnath Yatra should happen, and we are here with you, and we stand in solidarity with the victims. And do not think that anybody is not here to welcome you. We are here, and just like Adil Hussain Shah, who laid down his life while protecting his fellow countrymen, we have many unsung heroes who have these stories in the past. So you are welcome here, and you should come here.
Dr. Nirmal Singh, do you steadfastly believe that the leaders of the country, the politicians, the communal heads of communities, whether it is Hindus or Christians or Muslims or any other religion, have a large responsibility to play when it comes to ensuring the harmony and peace of the country, as was witnessed this time around? Because the purpose of the perpetrators to infiltrate the terrorists and attack them and kill those 26 of them was single-minded, to spread communal disharmony in the country, and it was not witnessed in any part of the country, the remotest, whether in Kashmir or in Maharashtra or in Punjab or in Tamil Nadu. It was nowhere to be seen. Why shouldn't the politicians behave responsibly 365 days a year?
Yes. In national life, there are some occasions when people, they must rise above the politics, party politics. There shall be thousands of occasions when we'll speak against our opponents and our political adversaries. But occasion like this, the people of India, including the Kashmiris, they have shown the way that how these politicians, they must react to such situations. I am very much happy that Adil and some people from Kashmir, we were seeing their videos, that how they were helping when there was no security there. And they were carrying injured on their backs. So this is the way the Indian nation must react. Definitely, this has given a thought lesson to the people, and those people who were using every occasion to corner the government on various issues, even the security issues and our policy with Pakistan and others, and now they are speaking in one voice. I think this is, Atalji once have said, Jamhuriyat, Insaniyat, Kashmiriyat. His 3 words, they have been demonstrated by the people of India, the people of Jammu and Kashmir. This is very welcome step.
Coming back to you, Pooja, if you can hear me, again the question, why can't our politicians act responsibly, behave responsibly? A rare occasion that we see in our country where our leaders are united.
I think that's a very valid question, Megha. Politicians need to be responsible. I just came to know of Rajesh Tikat's and Naresh Tikat's statements that they don't need to worry about the farmers of Pakistan. So when it comes to terror, when it comes to national security, when it comes to national integrity, and when it comes to something that binds us all as an Indian, I think we should all stand united. We should all stand by the government of India. And every political party has steadfastly supported in the all-party meeting to the government of India be it the revocation of Indus Waters Treaty, be it sending back the Pakistanis, be it cancelling their visas, everything the political parties are asking, and they have said that it's not a time for blame game. It's not a time for pointing out fingers. There are some valid questions of accountability, of responsibility. But government has come out and said that there have been lapses on the part of government. There has been lapses on the part of security, and these questions can be later. But what we need to be united, because we can't let terrorists define us. We can't let terrorists rule us when with their nefarious attempts. And that's what every political leader, every political party, and every citizen of the country should be behind their government when it comes to matters of national security and something as heinous as terror attacks.
Okay, I think this is one of those few rare moments where political parties, political leaders, religious heads across the country have come out in support, in unison, and are ready to fight it out with the common enemy, that is Pakistan, that has been trying to foment hate, terrorism and fear within the country through multiple attempts at terrorism, at killing innocent people, bombings, threats. As unfortunate as it may be, there is a lesson that is going to be taught to Pakistan and in the near future. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and thanks for joining me on NewsX.